I'm not saying that New York fans are clinically depressed right now, but what I will say is that sales of stools and ropes has shot through the roof in the New York area. There's an episode of South Park where Kyle has to stick his finger up Cartman's ass in order to activate a satellite so that the boys can figure out some alien shit that's going on and save the world. Problem is, every time Kyle goes to poke him in the butt, he farts in Kyle's face. After doing this about 8 different times, Chef yells at Cartman, "Knock that shit off, it ain't funny no more." That's where I was with the New York Jets after they lost to the New England Patriots. But you know what happened next? Cartman acquiesced, except he farted even louder and more obnoxiously than ever before, causing Chef to break out in hysterics and admit that okay, now it's funny again. That's the point where I'm at with the New York Jets. You know, there's a sequence in the Rams-Dolphins game where both teams took turns turning the ball over like 4 plays in a row. Well, that sequence of events pretty much describes the Jets' entire season. Somehow these two teams have channeled the Jets' entire season in the span of about 5-6 plays. The Jets are going up against an Arizona Cardinal team that excels at having their fast quarterback take advantage of lax edge contain, something that, as we've talked about on this channel many times, the Jets are probably the dirt worst in the league at, because it requires intelligence, discipline, athleticism, and most of all, good coaching. The Cardinals are also known for beating the living shit out of you at the line of scrimmage and running the ball down your throat. Well, surprisingly, even though James Conner had a huge game, it was actually through the air with 5 catches at 80 yards and a touchdown. The bigger surprise is that a Cardinals defense, which is known for surrendering points like the French surrendered territory to Germany, managed to hold the Jets to just 6 points all game, coming off a huge dominating win against Houston, highlighted by Garrett Wilson's circus catch acrobatics. And Devontae Adams finally realizing he's allowed to play football while he's in a New York Jet uniform. So you thought, yeah, maybe the Jets would lose, but at least the offense has some cohesion. So even if you lost to the Arizona Cardinals in a shootout, you could kind of hold your head up high and say, well, hey, at least we got something here. The problem is everything you were supposed to have fell completely flat. Multiple long drives, stalling out in the red zone, and a defense with a philosophy to bend and also still break. Nothing worked right in this game. And perhaps funniest of all, the Jets coaching staff worked on fundamental tackling all week long, knowing that it was a major problem for this team, and they came out and they had 20 missed tackles. That's just fundamental football shit. But I guess when you neglect the basics for 3.25 seasons of horrendous Robert Saleh coaching, and you replace Robert Saleh with the same cronies that he had working under him in the first fucking place, well, surprise, surprise, you get no fucking improvement. I see a lot of talk online about how the Jets should trade away everybody. And to that I say, for what fucking purpose? In 2022, you had 3 first-round picks. In the last 5 years, you've had something like 6 picks in the top 15. Well, what the fuck has it gotten you? The answer is jack fucking shit. You lose and you lose and you lose because bad coaching loses with good talent. Bad coaching turns good talent into underachieving, losing talent. This defines the entire last 14 years of the New York Jets history. You will not win because you constantly go for rookie defensive head coaches in an offensive fucking league. Maybe the Jets will get it half right with their next hire and pick up Brian fucking Flores, who, hey, at least he's got some head coaching experience, even though it was a complete and utter fucking disaster. All I know is I cannot wait to see the Jets bottom out so we could watch the Shedeur Sanders era.
Hey guys, well, I squandered all my get out of the sewer money yet again with another ill-advised bet. Stay tuned to find out what that was. But that's where you come in. I need you to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, share this shit around, tell everybody you know about this dog shit channel, help this motherfucker grow so I can make some YouTube money and get the fuck out of this crocodile-infested hellhole.
Who the fuck saw this coming? The Arizona Cardinals in first fucking place in the NFC West. Well, it helps a lot that the San Francisco 69ers have mastered the art of choking well before the Super Bowl and spend seemingly every other week finding new and innovative ways to choke on each other's dicks. What is it about Kyle Shanahan coach teams. I mean, stop me if you heard this one before. San Francisco picks up a significant lead in the first half. The second half starts, things even out, and then the other team pulls ahead late. Given that their opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, have more offensive players on their deathbed right now than a fucking cancer ward, there is no excuse for the Niners to almost blow this game. I guess you give them credit for pulling it out in the end, but that's like crediting a 6'5", 250-pound bully who's made of pure muscle because he got the finishing blow on a 5'7", 170-pound nothing when all their bullying finally broke out in a fistfight and the little shrimpy kid landed several vicious blows right to the temple. Like, hooray for you, you got a barely there victory, but you look like a fucking joke. A very far cry from the team that was so infested with talent and seemed almost a sure thing to make it back to a Super Bowl. I wonder what's the record for most amount of times that a team's blown a first half lead. At this point, Kyle Shanahan's turning this into an art form. My man is the Picasso of punting away significant leads in football. Well, maybe he could bring Robert Saleh back in the fold. After all, Robert Saleh definitely would never choke away a lead. And according to all the Niners fans who have not watched a single second of Robert Saleh as a head coach, you think he was a 5-time Lombardi Trophy winner. I am dying for them to rehire Saleh for next season. Either it blows up spectacularly and we could all point and laugh at San Francisco, or they actually do succeed, in which case we could all point and laugh hysterically at the New York Jets yet again. Either way, it's gonna be a good time. Those of you who were watching last week saw me predict that the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions are my pick to make it to the Super Bowl. How ironic is it then? Both teams essentially played the same exact fucking game this past week. Baltimore held serve on Thursday night and said, hey, what do you think happens if we go down really badly to the Cincinnati Bengals? Well, good teams find ways to win even games that seem unwinnable, and bad teams like the Cincinnati Bengals find ways to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, like Jerry Sandusky snatching kids off a playground, while an entire staff of Penn State football coaches look on, nod their heads, pat each other on the back, and insist there's absolutely nothing weird about the scene unfolding in front of them. The worst part is, when the Ravens were down huge earlier in the game, I wanted to put all my get out of the sewer money on them, just to cover the spread at that point, since it was like a 17-point spread. The problem is, I had used up all my fucking money betting the over on the New York Jet game, figuring there's no way the Arizona Cardinals would shut their offense down. Am I saying that there's a global FanDuel conspiracy against me specifically, and that's why the Jets offense all of a sudden couldn't play football against a defense that bends over more than your mom in front of a $5 bill? Well, what other explanation could there be? Surely you're not suggesting that I'm a fucking idiot for continuing to bet on the New York Jets in some way, shape, or form, are you? Well, fuck you, I don't have to take this shit. If I was gonna bend over and take it, I'd go be a New York Jets player, or one of their coaches. And since I'm neither a failure, nor a complete fucking moron, I am not a New York Jets player or a New York Jets coach. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna end this fucking video. Fuck you.